Welcome traders to this mentoring session. And as usual, I'll be starting this mentoring session with the weekly sectoral analysis. And as usual, you can see the weekly chart in front of your screen and the daily chart in front of your screen. Sorry, this is the monthly time frame. And in the monthly time frame chart, you can clearly see that we do have a sort of a hammer candle in the monthly time frame chart of Nifty futures. And then we do have a very, very big large candle, which is a bullish bell toll. And if you compare the size of this candle, it is extremely, extremely big. If you compare this particular candle with all these other candles which have been in 2021. So this is a very, very positive point for a bull. Now, if you can see that today's is the end of the month of July. So this candle can be considered very, very important. That is also one point. If I shift to the weekly time frame charts, you would understand that this is just a mere pullback. This was just a mere pullback till this point of time. But now since the prices have gone up above both of the moving averages, this is a clear sign that Nifty futures is now trying to start a new uptrend in the weekly charts as well, just like the daily time frame charts. But I believe one thing, that this uptrend was there over here also in the month of March 2022, even in the Jan 2022. So basically, I believe until and unless we do not surpass this particular high, which is 18,150, we will be under constant threat that this is just a mere pullback and suddenly we can drop down and anything can happen. And one of the reasons for that is lack of volumes. If you see properly, we have been continuously witnessing a fall in volumes when this rally was going on, and this is something which I certainly don't like. And this has been generally the feature in this year. Whenever there is a sharp rally, prices go higher and volumes fall down. This is a similar thing. Nothing has changed, frankly speaking. Only what has changed is at the rate at which prices have rallied. And I can see this is a blow-off rally. Blow-off rally, which means it goes one way up and people generally have a feeling of being left out in the rally because they could not participate, or possibly their stocks did not perform, or the stocks which they bought, they did not go up. In comparison to that, some other suddenly sector went up. Just like recently we had a couple of stocks like Bajaj Finance, Finserv. You saw IT Pack was very, very subdued, and suddenly it started going up. So if you see overall, the sectors which were very, very strong and responsible for the rally from this point to this point, they were constantly performing. But in last few days, IT, Bajaj Finance, Finserv, and all these stocks have performed very, very nicely. So even in the daily chart, if you see, the volumes have been coming down, and this is something which I do not like. This is not a feature just in the weekly time frame chart. This is also very, very prominent in the daily time frame charts. You can see a drop in volume. Only the last 3 days you can see there is a rise. But generally, when there is a rise in the volume and when there is a rise in the volume, rise in the price, and rise in volatility, generally it is not a time to buy. Generally, it is not a time to buy. This is, I'm not saying a top or something, but this is not the time to buy. This is a time, if you are having, if you're holding long positions, please trail your stop losses very, very aggressively. If you're holding long positions, especially in the swing trading system, trail your stop losses very, very aggressively. And I believe if this rally continues, then this particular, I think, band 17,429 to 17,504 or 505, this could provide a very stiff resistance to the Nifty futures. But if you see properly, the RSI even is above 70 and prices are way, way far away from the moving averages. So I believe some sort of consolidation, some sort of profit booking or whatever you say is very, very important currently required in the market. And in fact, if we have a dip, just a short-term dip, okay, then this is the first, I think, gap. You can see upside gap over here. which could provide a decent support in the medium term. The second support is this 23.6% Fibonacci retracement, and this level is around 16,740 or 750, and this particular gap is between 17,050 to possibly 16,950. All right, let's have a look at the Bank Nifty futures. Bank Nifty futures, I believe it's slightly better placed in comparison to the Nifty futures because it bounced back from this previous high in the monthly time frame charts. The candle is also very, very impressive in the monthly time frame chart. If I have a look in the weekly time frame chart, prices have started going up. No problem about that. Everything looks fine. But again, I think we need to surpass this high. If we want to change the overall chart setup, this is just a rally. According to me, this is just a rally. Currently, when you're looking at the chart and you look from, say, for example, Bank Nifty has gone from 32,450 to 37,550 or 570, you will see, wow, this is a beautiful rally. But if you look the chart like this, then you will understand, okay, so this is just a start, but we need to surpass all these highs as well. So what I'm trying to say is if you want to change the entire structure of the trend, entire structure of the chart, you will have to surpass this high without any doubts. Until and unless this high is not surpassed, you are, surrounded by some sort of worry, because again, in the Bank Nifty future as well, you can clearly see drop in the volumes and rise in the price. I'm not saying this is bearish, but this is certainly a negative divergence between the price and the volume. But generally, when you compare the importance of price and volume, price is much more important than volume. So if someone is holding long positions over here and just by listening to this, that there is a negative divergence, if you just, sell off all your holdings in the long positions, I think that could be absolutely wrong. What you need to do is you need to book your profits when the targets come, or if your trailing stop losses get hit. Now, in terms of resistance, I believe immediately we are going to hit this resistance, and this is going to be a very stiff resistance, I believe, for the Bank Nifty futures, and the levels are from 38,141 to 37,826. This is going to be pretty stiff. And on the downside, I believe in case if there is some sort of profit booking or a consolidation, rather than profit booking, I would say consolidation, because there is no top out sign over here as yet, because the uptrend is still continuing. There is no top out sign. But in case if there is a consolidation and just a short term dip, I think this particular gap could probably give a short term support to the Bank Nifty futures. Now, if you have a look to PSU Banks, first I would like to share with you the information about PSU Banks, then I will like to go to the private banks. I believe it's very, very clearly visible that the up move in the weekly time frame chart, and because you can see the candle which is formed over here is a strong hammer, and the way these candles are visible, it is a very strong looking chart without any doubts. Even in the monthly time frame chart, I believe some sort of consolidation, and if this uptrend again continues, if at all, then we could see some beautiful rally coming up in the next few months. But before that thing happens, I believe there should be some sort of consolidation, some sort of really good profit booking, some sort of really good, if not profit booking, then at least some sort of consolidation is necessary. And I believe this could be the decent support somewhere around 2780 or 2781 thereabouts. And the second important support could be somewhere in the zone of 2669.30, somewhere over here. Now, will it drop till here or not? I have no idea, but I certainly firmly believe if anyone is holding PSU banks, kindly think about trailing your stop losses. And in case if it comes down, if the prices comes down, please don't be surprised. If they keep going up, fine. Enjoy the rally, make money. But if it comes down, please don't be surprised, because it is necessary, because anything in the market cannot go up continuously. It needs to consolidate. It needs to go through a little bit of profit booking, and then again the next leg of rally appears. Private banks, I believe, have shown few banks, especially stocks like IndusInd Banks. I think it's the nature of this particular stock. I've seen many times in my life. It just, goes and gives a vertical rally. Majority of the private banking stocks have shown some good amount of strength. Stocks like ICICI Bank, IndusInd Bank, Axis Bank. If you see Axis Bank, but I believe Axis Bank will need some serious amount of consolidation in the next coming time. HDFC Bank, I think it has just started, I believe, and this is the resistance bands. We need to see what happens over here. Now there is one bank, Kotak Bank. If you see properly, this is the stock which I believe hasn't been able to perform. Even the weekly time frame chart is pretty average looking, I would say. Even the monthly time frame chart is okay. Monthly time frame chart is not that great basically, because what has happened is prices have rallied, they have come down, again the price has rallied. If this was a very strong chart, my friends, I would believe that price would never have touched this support. It would have consolidated somewhere over here, and then probably the next leg of rally could appear in next few months. But nevertheless, it has not broken this support. At least that is good. And now it seems in last 2 days, the overall price formation in the daily chart is okay. It's not great. It's okay. And if in next few days, if it doesn't possibly, at least it stays above, I should say, stays above this particular low, 1718. As far it stays above this low, all right, then I believe after a certain amount of consolidation for in the short term, slowly and steadily this stock will start rising. The speed of the rally will not be very, very high. It will take some time, but there's a probability of some sort of upside possible in this stock. And this is one stock in private banking space which has not been able to perform. Metal Pack. What a rally it has been. Now, if you are a constant viewer of my YouTube channel, if you're following all of my educational videos, I believe a month back, probably a month back, I had clearly said in the ending of the month of June that I would refrain myself from going short in this particular sector. Even if I see if there is a trade in my trading system on the short side, I would not take that trade, because it was visible to me that some sort of pretty big pullback was possible. Somewhere over here, again, I felt that if some downside happens, then I'll see what to do. But I think that downside never came and prices just kept rallying. And from this point onwards to this point, I believe the metal index has rallied by almost 15 to 17%. So the view that metal pack will rally, even though it was a downtrend, has gone bang on right. First thing is that. Now, the second thing is we need to understand that in the monthly time frame chart, what we can see is it has jumped from the support, but the candle which has been made over here is amazing. Now, the question over here is whether this rally will keep on continuing or it will consolidate few months and then the new leg of rally will start. This is something which possibly no one can answer. This is not very, very easy. Second thing is we can see that we are approaching the 50% retracement mark, and you see a lot of sideways move has happened. So we are now in the extreme strong resistance zone. But in the daily time frame chart, I believe there are many stocks which have started an uptrend. So in case if this sector wants to move higher, it will need some consolidation. So if you see some profit booking or sideways move, it is absolutely all right. Yes, until and unless it shows some big red candle and starts just literally collapsing and triggers all your stop losses, that's a totally different scenario. But if it is consolidating or something, it is absolutely fine. And if after the consolidation, if it keeps moving higher slowly and steadily, that could be probably, that could be probably a hint that metal pack is not just in for a pullback, but probably a little bit more than that. And only time will let us know what is going to happen. It will take few days, because we can see this has been a pretty big rally in terms of daily chart. It is 17%. So you can see the RSI is also above 70. If it continues, I'll be surprised. I'll be very, very surprised, because now it needs some sort of consolidation. I believe the prices are pretty far away from the moving averages. Some sort of consolidation would be very healthy. And after the consolidation, as I say, that if price starts moving higher, it could be really positive for this particular index. Autopack. Autopack, as I have been telling all of you that it will be an outperforming index. It has outperforming. It has outperformed very, very nicely. Now we can see that in the weekly time frame chart, it has approached a resistance. All right. It has approached a resistance. In the daily time frame chart. You can see a slight hint of some sort of profit booking visible at higher levels. Now, there are a few stocks, I think stocks like M&M, I believe, which have rallied too much. I think these stocks will need some sort of very good consolidation. If it continues to rally, to be very frank, I'll be very, very surprised. But it needs a serious form of consolidation. Even Eicher Motors needs a really good amount of consolidation. Although there is one stock where I have seen a lot of volatility in last couple of days, and I have kept my eyes on this particular stock. The stock is Tata Motors. This particular stock was very late to the party. I believe somewhere in the ending of June, many stocks were looking very, very good in the daily charts. But Tata Motors was still consolidating, and it was very, very annoying that why this such a nice stock is not performing, because it's a volatile stock. And if you go right, you can really make really good amount of money very, very fast. So after that, I think it started performing, and in last couple of days, probably due to the result or whatever, I think there has been a lot of volatility, especially on 28th July. If you see the weekly time frame chart, it is not outstanding. It is all right. It is okay. In the monthly time frame chart also, I believe it is all right. Nothing is wrong over here. It seems that it does require some sort of consolidation, but I think time will tell us how it will perform. But in the short term, I believe probably in next 2 to 3 days, we will understand if it doesn't fall too much, if it doesn't correct too much, if it goes sideways, and then if it starts going higher, then probably it would result in a decent swing trade for the short-term traders. All right. Finance, I think, goes without saying, it has been in a really good uptrend. I think this is the support band which I had drawn, I think, long back. This support band has helped this particular index really well. And weekly time frame charts, they are clearly showing a vertical rally. They are showing a vertical rally, but I believe this high needs to be taken off. In terms of a daily chart, as a positional trader, we can clearly see that this is a very good sign because we have surpassed its previous high. This is a very good sign because since last many months, we have been making lower highs and lower lows. This is the first time ever that we have been able to make a higher high basically. Now, after this higher high, if we make a higher low in the daily chart, I think it will be a very good sign. And if you check stocks like Bajaj Finance, the way they have rallied, or if you see stocks like Bajaj Finserv, I believe they need some serious sort of consolidation, some serious profit booking or consolidation. Profit booking, I don't mean that suddenly it drops down by 10-15%. No, I believe slightly a little bit of profit booking, a little bit of consolidation, something like that is very, very necessary in these stocks, I believe. And after that, I think we'll be able to understand what's the next move. And if you plot volume over here, that could be a very high volume as expected. So I believe some sort of consolidation could come in next few days for sure. IT Pack. Now IT Pack, it has been a underperformer through entire 2020. This is the support band, I believe, which I had made few weeks back. The first candle which is visible is a hammer. Second candle is looking like a hammer, not exactly a hammer. Third candle again is certainly a hammer, no doubt without that. So now I believe that this is a very strong support. In the weekly time frame chart also, I guess it's looking pretty okay for an upside basically. As a positional trader, yes, I would try to concentrate on the IT Pack. As a swing trader, I think still there is some time to think that IT pack could be taken as a candidate on the long side for swing trades. But as a positional trader, I would start looking in. I would not try to jump in very, very fast, but yes, I would start looking at few stocks and I would start seeing that out of these 5-6 stocks, which could be my one, which could be the pick of 1 or 2 stocks, because this is one sector I believe right now, which is the underdog, which I believe has not performed that much, has just given a pullback, and it has a decent amount of space left on the upside, really decent amount. So as a positional trader, I believe people should focus on this sector, but please be very, very careful about which particular stock you are picking. All right. Pharmapack. Pharmapack, I believe this particular sector, as always, if you see in the monthly time frame chart, it's trying to consolidate. Candles are okay. It's like a hammer and a bullish bell tool. It's just consolidating. Nothing much, I believe, is happening in the monthly time frame chart, nor does it look very, very interesting to me, to be very, very frank. In the weekly chart also, it is just a mere pullback. In the daily chart, I believe there has been a whipsaw. If you see, it has broken the support, closed below the support, and then suddenly it has gone up. And this is probably due to the, I generally track 3 to 4 stocks in Pharmapack. I'll just share them with you. You can see Dr. Reddy has tremendously underperformed. Oro Pharma also, it did underperform a little bit and then it has given a pullback. I only like 2 stocks. One is Sun Pharma. Sun Pharma has already rallied. Now, if it consolidates, goes to some sort of profit booking, and if you get a chance, it could be picked up as a possibly a swing trade. And Cipla, I think it should certainly be in your checklist for a positional trade candidate. Yes. Although I believe pharma stocks are not of a nature which could give you a very big upside like 20, 30, 40, 50% rally. But yes, as of now, when you see that markets are extremely overstretched, you can see that not many candidates are available for decent good trades, then you should concentrate on stocks and on sectors which at least have some chance of good decent trades. So Cipla is one particular stock for the positional trading aspect, and Sun Pharma, if you have it, if it consolidates, if it comes down, only then you could pick it up for a swing trade. The next one is the FMCG pack. Again, FMCG pack is extremely overstretched and it is extremely strong. I have been speaking about this particular sector since pretty long now. The sector is, I believe it has been the leader, and especially in pulling the indices higher. Currently, it is trading near the all-time high. In fact, it is trading above the all-time high. So this is actually a breakout. But if you see properly in the weekly time frame chart, the prices are pretty much away from the moving averages. And more than that, I believe even in the daily time frame chart, we certainly probably have, okay, we don't have a higher high in the price. It just looked like one, but we do have couple of candles which are dojis at the upper side. And I believe that some sort of consolidation is very, very badly needed in the daily chart for sure. So if some sort of consolidation, up down movement, if it happens in the FMCG stocks, I don't think you should be surprised. And while this consolidation happens, if it drops down for short-term profit booking, and then if it spurts up, if it goes back up, and if you fancy your chances for a swing trade, please have a look at the FMCG pack. Realty pack, I think something really big is going on over here. This is something which people should not miss at all. What is happening is the sector is trying to bottom out from these candle wicks, I believe even this one, and you can see a very good amount of candlestick over here. In a weekly time frame chart, I believe this is a vertical rally. It looks as of now that the prices have been able to close above this trend line, but I don't believe this has happened. This is not a breakout. It looks like one. It is not a breakout. It will need to close above at least 460 to 461 as per the 3% rule, because we are looking at the weekly time frame chart. Once that happens, I think probably we are in for a pretty decent rally in the realty pack. And then once you have a very big rally in a particular sector, then you could have small trades, for swing trading candidates in your swing trading system. So please keep watch on this particular index and also keep watch on the realty pack stocks. Consumption pack, again, this is a particular sector which I had been speaking of lately, that this is one sector which could outperform along with auto and FMCG, and it has worked pretty nicely. If you see, it has been able to surpass its previous high. It has not just given a breakout in the daily time frame chart. When I believe somewhere over here, I had posted on Twitter also that it has been able to surpass its previous high. And from 7,046, it has gone till 7,514.85. So this is a very, very impressive rally in the weekly time frame chart. In the daily time frame chart also, I believe, in the monthly time frame chart also, it's outstanding. It's not just impressive, but it's outstanding. In the daily time frame chart also, I believe it's looking strong. Only thing is that the prices have made a new high. RSI has made a lower high. So it seems that the momentum is waning. But other than that, I don't believe there is anything to worry. Some sort of consolidation is all right. But this should be the sector which should be kept for sure in your kitty to keep a watch for swing trades for sure. Because I believe the rally which has happened in this particular sector is not one-sided. It's not like Zoom one way up and then suddenly it gets exhausted and then it will drop dead down. It's not like that. It has been going up slowly, consolidated, went up slowly, consolidated, went up. So generally when these sort of rallies happen, when they are very slow moving, then you will fancy your chances for many small multiple swing trades when this rally is going on. Mid cap, I believe it's okay. There is no problem in the monthly time frame chart. In the weekly time frame charts, though, things are not looking very impressive. And if you can see, I think you can understand why I'm trying to say so. The reason for that is we are still in just a pullback, nothing more than that. And even if this is the start of a new uptrend, I believe it's very early to say this, because there is a strong trend line resistance, and even some sort of consolidation probably is necessary in the daily time frame chart, and we are also near 127.20% Fibonacci extension. Sure. So we are probably within a space of pretty strong resistance. So what will happen over here, it's very difficult to say. I think people should think of trailing the stop losses pretty strictly in their positional trades. All right. So I hope all of you that this video will help you understand how markets are going to pan out in the next few days. And the summation of the video is, overall market is in uptrend, no doubt about that, but some sort of consolidation is required. One sector which I believe which could rally in the next coming weeks could be IT. In the auto pack, I think Tata Motors is something which is looking good. In the pharma pack, Cipla looks all right for a positional trade, and Sun Pharma looks good for a swing trade in case if it consolidates or corrects after that. And one more sector is on the verge of a very big breakout, which is realty, but only if the sectoral indices closes above 460 or 461 in the weekly time frame chart, not in the daily time frame chart. And the consumption sector is looking pretty strong, pretty robust. I think on consolidation zones or on corrections, one should look for swing long trades, right? So thank you. Trade less, trade wisely, and stay safe. Thank you.